Hi, I'm Gabby, and or Stan, whatever one you want to call me, is great. Now, in this video series thingy, I'm going to talk about albums. So, basically the whole gist of this is I listen to an album that I like, or that a dear friend of mine has recommended me. And I talk about songs I love, songs I maybe didn't love too much, and just my opinion on the album. So, let's get into it. If you're not new to this series, you know what's gonna happen. If you are new to this series, I'm gonna introduce to you what today's album is. So today's album, I'm saying today. This probably months. It's been 2 months since I uploaded a video. At least an album talk. I think it's been a month since I uploaded my last actual video, which was a vlog. But anyways, sorry for my rambling. So today's album is the newest album by Chicago folk pop punk artist Cricket, titled Self-Sufficient. This album came out on September 13th. It is currently September 22nd. I'm very late to this, but here's a little bit about Cricket. This is all from their Spotify about the artist. So, why am I so dark? Sorry. Cricket is a bug. He makes music sometimes. He even records music. Cricket is a Chicago-based folk punk writer, dragging himself against the grain of cultural normality. Performances are loud, energetic, and deeply emotional. He has been compared to many artists, from the Front Bottoms to Will Wood, Penelope Scott to AJJ. AJJ? Question mark? I don't know if I said that right. But in the end, he is still completely and entirely his own thing / person / bug. Cricket is a proud mental health awareness advocate, and his songwriting brings... That's a big word, guys. I don't know if I'm going to put that word on screen because I don't know how to say it. To those struggling with social seclusion, self-hatred, and all those other nasty things. As I said before, this is from the Spotify about the artist. This is what Cricket himself wrote about himself. I think it's quite true, actually. Now, let's listen. Okay, so I listened to it. I already did that last night, but I thought it'd be funny to include that. Let me get my script up. Okay, so my hair's a mess. My favorite songs of the album are Red Mage, Simple Science, Mandible Claw, Name 10 Books, Replica Sword, Pothole, because it was good and it reminded me of a Keep It Together song, Self-Sufficient, and Trending. Songs I was they're okay. They're not the best, in my opinion at least. They were something I would go back and listen to. Are Trolley Problem, The Player, and The Game, French Room, and Neutral Ending. They were not my favorite songs. What is my cat doing? Moving on to things I love about this record. Normally, after this would be something like I talk about 2 songs I really enjoyed off the record. I'll get more into why I didn't do that this time in the things I love about this record. I feel like this album has some super fun and silly songs, jam-packed with silly lyrics, and honestly, a pretty easy listen. Definitely wasn't my favorite album drop this year, but it's still a great album. I kind of do feel like he sang a little too fast sometimes, but in some songs it fits. In certain songs, it fits in certain songs. I can't read. And on some songs, it was just a little hard to hear the little Cricket guy. I think they suffocated him. So sad. But besides the point, this was a great record. I wouldn't say I necessarily have 2 standout tracks, but my all 2-time favorites I will go back and do are definitely Simple Science and Self-Sufficient. I really liked all the D&D reference. I think it's very silly and cool of his music. Sorry for all my pauses, I can't read too fast. And apparently there is lore in this album. What is what you're probably saying if you don't know that. I don't know about the lore. Just my camera. Look at my Beatles shirt, guys. But yeah, so apparently there's lore. I don't know the lore, but my good friend Aubrey knows the lore. So There's gonna be a little lore segment right after this of Aubrey explaining what this self-sufficient lore is. Take it away, Aubrey.
Okay, what's up, guys? Hey there, chat. Okay, sorry. Anyways, I'm gonna be explaining the lore of Cricket's new album, Self-Sufficient. So be prepared for a yap fest and some autism. It starts off with our character Cricket. He's been venturing the world for years looking for a temple known as the Temple of Self-Actualization. He finally finds it, and when he enters, someone yells, "What the hell are you doing in my house?" Cricket starts praising them and asking to learn the way of their life. Bray, the other person, is so confused by what is happening and asks Cricket, "What?" Cricket, slightly confused, asks, "Aren't you a monk, one who's achieved self-actualization?" The monk responds with, "Yeah." Cricket asks for him to be taught by the monk so he too can achieve self-actualization. I don't know how you say that word, so sorry if I'm butchering it really bad. Okay. The monk responds with no. Cricket, still wanting to learn more about the monk's lifestyle, asks if he can spend a day with the monk. The monk reluctantly agrees. Cricket follows the monk to his room and is shocked by a mess. The monk tells Cricket he can sit wherever. The monk starts playing a game. Cricket asks, "What game are you playing?" The monk says, "Dark Souls 2. "Is this a DLC? I don't recognize it," Cricket says. The monk and Cricket talk for a while about Dark Souls 2 until the monk gets fed up and asks Cricket if he wants to order pizza. Cricket says, yes. They order Hawaiian pizza. After eating, Cricket asks the monk, "How did a slacker like you become a monk?" The monk explains his life wasn't always like this. He used to be an accountant, a chemist, a zipline course instructor. He did everything. Cricket asks why he threw all of that away. The monk replies, "Got bored." The monk says, "Gave up all that nonsense. Now this is all we got, all we need. No need to worry about impressing people or being enough. Just peace, quiet, meditation." Cricket is confused why the monk stated we instead of I. Cricket asks, "We?" The monk responds to Cricket with, "Why not we?" Cricket says, "Because I like people, the stage, the applause, I love it all." The monk realizes that Cricket has become addicted to praise and he can't help them. That concludes that segment. You may be asking yourself, well, how does this tie into the album? Well, my friend, if you looked at the album, you would see that there's 2 songs, both including ending blank of 2. The first ending, neutral ending, 1 of 2, is what happens if Cricket never stopped being addicted to praise, but his fame dies out, so he got less and less. And to try and get just a little bit of likes, he feels he has to do the most extreme things or else he'll be boring. Cricket believes his worth is based on numbers, the views, the likes, the smiles that he gets. The second ending, true ending, is what happens if Cricket stopped devaluing himself to just numbers and likes on the map. He does things just for himself. He starts to appreciate himself more. He stops caring about the past and focuses on the future, realizing the world keeps spinning no matter what. A happy ending for our silly little bug man. Aww. Anyways, bye.
That was a lot of lore, guys. Okay, now, that was Self-Sufficient by Cricket. I think if I had to rate this album, I think I'd give it an 8 out of 10. But these videos are not about the rating, but I hope you liked this video. All of Cricket's socials and where you can find his music will be linked down there in the description. Because why not? And I think the next album talk will probably be on the latest album by The Dare called What's Wrong with New York. So, bye-bye.
Hydroxytryptamine alone is not enough for me, I'm too reactive. Choking on all the chlorine, the inorganic metals in my heart will start to oxidize, my blood is turned to rust. I wanna run. I wanna fucking die. Asking in glory cause nobody knows. They only see the highs cause I cut out the lows. Acetylcholine martini, let's turn up the violence. Don't trust your God when you can trust its science.